The transmission log flickered to life. On the screen, the face of Xyler, High Commander of the Galactic Fleet, appeared. His 4 eyes were wide with a terror I had never seen before. He was addressing the Grand Council of the Zorgan Empire, a civilization known for its ruthless expansion and appetite for conquest. His voice, usually a booming command, was now a strained, desperate whisper. Grand Council, I come to you not as a conqueror, but as a messenger, a survivor. I have seen the abyss, and it stares back from a small, blue planet in an uncharted arm of the galaxy. My fleet, the pride of our empire, is gone, not defeated, annihilated. And I am here to deliver a warning, a plea, forged in the fire that consumed my ships and my soldiers. Do not, under any circumstances, engage the species that calls itself humanity. He paused, the static crackling in the silence. The council members shifted uncomfortably in their bodies. The Zorgan Empire had never known fear. They had crushed species far more advanced than what our initial scans of Earth had shown. To them, humans were primitives, a chaotic species trapped on their single world, squabbling over resources and ideologies, an easy target, a ripe fruit for the taking. That's what we all thought, Xyler continued, his voice trembling. We arrived in their solar system, a fleet of 1,000 warships, a planet killer in its own right. We followed standard protocol. We sent the ultimatum: surrender or be cleansed. We expected fear. We expected a swift capitulation. What we received was silence. For precisely 24 of their hours, there was nothing. We laughed. We mocked their primitive courage. We prepared the orbital cannons. Then the response came. It wasn't a communication. It was music, a symphony of strange, powerful, and defiant sounds, broadcast on every channel. It was beautiful and terrifying all at once. Our linguists were baffled. Our tacticians were confused. Was he Dakoti? A sign of surrender? No. It was a prelude. It was the overture to our own destruction. Suddenly, their planet went dark. All their artificial lights, across their entire globe, extinguished in an instant. The void of space was absolute, except for the pinprick of their world against the stars. And then, from that darkness, they emerged. Not in ships of gleaming metal and energy shields as we understood them, but in swarms, thousands, then millions, of small, crude objects. Our sensors screamed. They were primitive projectile launchers, chemically propelled, what the humans called rockets, fired from countless hidden silos. Submarines beneath their vast oceans, even mobile platforms disguised as ground transport. We laughed again. A foolish, fatal mistake. What could these primitive fireworks do to our quantum-phased armor? We raised our shields, ready to swat them aside like insects. But the first volley wasn't aimed at our warships. It was aimed at itself. The rockets converged, creating a cascade of detonations in a coordinated, expanding wave, an electromagnetic pulse of a magnitude our scientists had deemed impossible. Every one of our primary systems went dead. Shields, navigation, weapons, communications, all gone. We were blind, deaf, and helpless. Adrift in their space. Xyler's face contorted. A memory too painful to recall. They had studied us. In the time since our arrival, they had analyzed our technology, found its single, critical weakness, and engineered a perfect counter, using their own obsolete tech. The silence that followed the EMP was more terrifying than any battle cry. We were sitting ducks, and they were just getting started. From the dark side of their moon, a second wave appeared. These were not primitive rockets. These were sleek, agile craft, moving with a speed and precision that defied physics as we knew it. They carried no energy weapons. Instead, they deployed kinetic rods. Kinetic rods, simple, dense, metal spears, accelerated to near light speed. They didn't need to pierce our hulls. They simply transferred their momentum. Our dreadnoughts, kilometers long, were torn apart, twisted into unrecognizable sculptures of scrap metal by pure physical force. They didn't fight a war of energy. They fought a war of physics, and they were masters of it. My ship, the Harbinger of Doom, was hit. The impact felt not like an explosion, but like the planet itself had punched us. We were spinning, life support failing, alarms blaring, a symphony of our failure. I saw warships, the pride of our people for 1,000 cycles, reduced to floating graveyards in seconds. There was no strategy we could employ, no tactic that could counter it. It was like trying to fight a hurricane with a sword. But the most terrifying part was not their weapons, it was their will. I managed to get a single visual channel online, pointed at their planet. I saw their cities. There was no panic. I saw unity. Beings who had been at each other's throats moments before were now working as one. Their communication networks, which we had dismissed as chaotic noise, were a decentralized, resilient web of information sharing. Every human with a device became a sensor, a spotter, a part of a global hive mind directed at a single purpose. Our extermination. They weaponized everything. Their global positioning satellites became targeting systems. Their weather monitoring networks predicted our debris fields to clear paths for their attack craft. They repurposed deep space telescopes to analyze the structural weaknesses in our dying ships in real time. They are a species that thrives in chaos. They innovate in desperation. Their entire history is a testament to surviving the impossible. We thought their internal conflicts were a weakness we wary around. It was training. It was a planetary-scale crucible that has forged them into the most dangerous beings in the cosmos. I am the sole survivor. They let me escape. My escape pod was tractor-beamed to one of their strange, angular ships. A message was placed in my mind, not through a translator, but an idea, a concept, directly implanted. It was a simple message, yet it contained the weight of a dying star. It said, "Tell them what you saw. Tell them to stay away." We value our peace, but we love our survival more. We have turned our world into a fortress to protect us from ourselves. Do not make us turn it upon you. Xylor looked directly into the camera, his 4 eyes pleading with the Council. Grand Council, listen to me. Do not look at that blue marble and see a prize. See a warning. Their divisions are a deception. Their primitive technology is a mask. Beneath it lies a relentless, unified, and terrifyingly creative intelligence forged in perpetual conflict. They are the sleeping giant of this galaxy. If you attack them, you will not conquer a planet. You will awaken a force of nature that has spent millennia learning how to turn its own fury into a weapon. They will not just defeat you. They will study you, learn from you, and then they will hunt you. They will reverse engineer our star drives from the wreckage of our fleet. They will turn our technologies against us. They will not stop until the Zorgan Empire is a cautionary tale whispered by elders in the far corners of the galaxy. They will reduce your empire, our empire, to ashes. Heed my words, stay away from Earth. The transmission ended. The room was silent. The Zorgan Empire, for the first time in its history, knew the taste of fear. And out in the vast, silent darkness of space, humanity, unaware of the cosmic bullet it had just dodged, went on with its day, its chaotic, beautiful, and terrifyingly potent existence, continuing a quiet promise of annihilation to any who would dare disturb its fragile peace. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the cosmos. Let us know in the comments what you think would happen in a real first contact scenario. Until next time, stay curious.